The Indianapolis Colts will be taking on the New England Patriots. NFL action from Frankfurt, Germany on Sunday, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. In this one, as we have more NFL action from across. This is the last game of the International Series so far this season. Ramon, how have the totals gone in the International? You know how it's gone. It's always under when it comes to the international series. But will it be under again when it comes to Indiana? Now, the Sharps would have you think right now that this game is going under. Uh, well, let's see. It's actually moved higher, but um, yeah, I'm sorry. Already blew the narrative. Uh, the trends would indicate that this is an under series. All these Euro games have been going under so far. To me, and maybe this one feels to you guys like it could be going under as well with the Colts and the Patriots. Right, the Patriots' offense is pretty woeful so far, but you know what? The Colts' pass defense hasn't been too good. They've had a few moments, like I said, um, but here's Thomas here on the Colts. And tell you what, Thomas, I'm on the Colts too. If you want to just end the video, we can. I think that the Colts running game is starting to emerge right now as a serious factor moving forward. That the Colts can, if they could just somehow fix this defense, you can do that with a running game like you have with Jonathan Taylor. You keep your offense out there a little while longer. And I like the Colts in this game actually to win. That's where I'm going to go with this. I like them to win against the Patriots here. Um, I think I think the Patriots could have an okay day. This might actually be a pretty fun game. And like I said, I guess the trends would kind of indicate maybe go under here, right? With the Colts knowing that they like to run the ball. The Patriots obviously aren't doing much offensively with Mac. The Patriots are 3-6 to the under. Remember, the Colts have been going over. They're 6-3 to the over. They're allowing 27 points a game. So, could the Patriots offense get a little bit on track here against the Colts? Maybe the total's gone up. That's the thing about it. And I've been saying, I'm the one coming in selling you unders all the time. It's tough for a handicapper when you're an under handicap. It cuts into your sales to give out unders because that's not exciting. Anyways, I don't know. This feels like maybe the total's gone from 41 up to 43. So odds makers are expecting some expected production here a little bit from Mac, from uh, Gardner Minshew and the Colts. But mostly it feels like from Taylor, right? Don't you think that Taylor is going to be able to run here a little bit on the Patriots defense? I mean, I don't know what you guys think anymore about the Patriots. Defensive, they're still fine, but just note this: the Patriots. Now, some of these have been, on. This is a neutral site game, but the Patriots are 1-10 against the spread in their last 11 games as an underdog. Now, we know it doesn't happen very often, but it happens a lot more than it has lately than it has before. And that's a pretty serious trend. So I'm going to trust it here. I'm going to trust the Colts here to get this done. They've won and covered 3 of their last 4 games on the road. Like I said, it's a neutral site game, but Colts have been pretty good as an underdog. So Colts have gone over their team total in 7 of their 9 games so far. So they've been involved in wild games, wild scores to a certain extent. New England is total under right now, 6-2-1, 2-6-1, 6 unders, 9 games. As I said, for New England, they've won and covered 7 of the last 8 in this series. But I think the series has changed a little bit. Patriots coming back to earth here now. Uh, And who knows? I mean, this is not the game. People, I don't know. People like page views, video views. Oh, if the Patriots lose this one, they're going to leave Bill Belichick in Germany. Uh, Probably not. It'll be probably after this season. But, uh, is Bill Belichick going to be retired here after this? Or will he end up with the Washington Commanders? We'll see about that one. But anyways, let's go ahead and end this one. Thank you for guys. I hear you guys in the Discord a little bit there. I think maybe it's a different Discord. I'm going to turn that off. It's bothering me. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, give me the Colts in this one. I've got them to run, run, run. Patriots are getting outgained by 100 yards a game by their opposition right now. The Colts are rolling. They've scored 20 points or more in all 9 games this season. Have the Colts. So maybe we will get an over game in Europe here, even with the offenses not great. Well, I say that. Colts obviously are producing with Minshew, right? And you just wonder how Richardson would have done. I think it would have been all right. Well, you don't have to get defensive if you're with the Browns and the Ravens, but it wouldn't hurt. Man, this is a real great game. Man, can you believe the AFC North and how strong these teams are in this division? It really seems like the AFC North is that division right now that is the best, among the best with these teams. And here are 2 of them, the Ravens and the Browns. Feels kind of heavy here with the Ravens being a big 6-point favorite like this against a Browns team that has a great defense with, I'll just say this about Watson. He just seems to get a little bit better each game. Now, it's not a lot better. It's just a little bit better, but he seems to be able to still work it out. He'll never make all the money, never earn all the money that they're giving him, but does seem like gets a little bit better with each game. But, man, could they really get a cover here of a full touchdown against against this Browns team? The Browns definitely have some injury questions coming in, and the Ravens are relatively healthy right now coming into this one. But I don't want to lay 6 points in a game that certainly the defense is going to be, right there, I would think. I mean, this is a division game. Cleveland and Baltimore, it's already down to 38. It opened 40.5. Sure, it'll be probably, kind of a what you would expect. Werner said he laid it. Thomas is laying it too. And Thomas, I believe he is Cleveland. Thomas, you are Cleveland, right? He said he was talking about Belichick. He said we had Cleveland and let him go. Now I'm on Cleveland. I believe in a little bit in Cleveland. Darren's laying it. You guys are laying this. You guys are hype on Baltimore. All right. Well, look, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Baltimore is 6-3 against the spread to go with their 7-2 record. Meanwhile, the Browns, they've been just okay, 5-3 overall, 4-3-1 to the number. So I'm more interested in taking the points. Probably going to be a low scoring game. You know how the NFL works. I'm always going to be interested in touchdowns and taking a touchdown here with decent teams, for sure. Browns are definitely in the upper echelon of the defense, makes it legit. Wow, look at this one. Who would have thunk it? Who would get so excited about this one? Is the total right, you guys? What's going on here? This is the NFL. How is this total 48? Well, because you've only got one of the top passing matchups of the season. Yeah, maybe it's down to 47 here. I could stand to update it at a few spots, showing some 47 and a halves and some 47s. I better get at least a 47 and a half. But the CJ Stroud, it's real. It's not fake or anything like that. I mean, when you throw for NFL rookie record, 470 yards, and you've already had the type of season that C.J. Stroud is having. It's real, and credit to him, credit to the Texans in general with their awesome way to win the game last week. The uh, Wale coming in and kicking. He'd obviously, done some kicking in high school. He put the right English on the kick a little bit there. Hey, the kickoffs were shaky, but the kickoff is hard. If anything, that's how you want to kick it off. All right, kick it off a low, weird kick to the guy at the 4-yard line. Anyways, he won't be kicking this week, but I think Fairburn hit the list, so they'll pick up a kicker. But nonetheless, these are two pretty good teams, and I guess they're expecting fireworks in this one with Stroud and Burrow, but I'm probably just more interested in the Texans here. They can win this. They can win this game. They can compete in this game. Sure, they can. Why not at this point? After give them a touchdown, of course. I saw this line though as high as 10 and a look ahead, but that was before Stroud's performance. That was in the look ahead line from last week. So total does look, it opened as low as 44.5 and has climbed all the way up here to this 48, 47.5, seeing what's happened here. But Texans pretty good defensively, and the Bengals at home defend. They're not too bad either. They're starting to obviously get into defensive form here. These teams combined to average allowing 41 points a game total. So maybe against one another they're expecting, but I don't see it that way at all. I would have to think this is a feels to me like more of an under situation with this game. Both the teams are a combined 6-10 to the under. Yeah, and some of those were happening. Remember, the Bengals were having all their issues and woes. But Ferner, here come the Bengals. So, all right. Thank you for your plays on this one, and let me go ahead. I'll go ahead and give out the under here. Maybe I got too excited there with the Texans. I like the Texans, but I want to make sure I give out the right play for here on the show and make sure I got my premium in order if I want it. And I'll go under here, Texans and Bengals. I think I've got two good teams with good defenses here, not just Burrow and Stroud. Remember, Burrow did have a few issues. The calf was getting a little bit of treatment again, and obviously had the very discomforting finger situation last week. Now, that's something that can be, worked around. T. Higgins has ended up on the injury report. I believe he's listed as active, but also Chase is on the injury report. Mixon is still questionable, I believe. Let me take one more look at it here. But the Bengals injury list was getting a little bit long. Fairbairn actually is still listed as questionable. Jamar Chase questionable for the game. And like I said, Higgins has ended up on the injury list with a hamstring. I don't know. It was played up this morning on some talk shows a little bit more seriously than I'm led to believe right now. But just note, Higgins and Chase on that list. So Pierce is questionable for Houston. I'll take the under. All right, you can go down the list and find, potential Super Bowl matchups. So this would be one of them, no doubt about it. Right now, I'm just talking about if you talk to top teams in the AFC, top teams in the NFC, teams that could meet in the Super Bowl that are meeting in the regular season. this is one of those matchups. The Jacksonville Jaguars come in here 6-2. They have the better record over the 49ers now. For all those people that have already taken the 49ers out of their top tens or whatever, the odds makers haven't, by the way. But this is this the spot, guys, for the Niners? It doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it, right? Uh, so I don't know. This feels like a pretty nice spot for the Jaguars here to get it done, and I'm taking them, man. I'm taking a money line. The Niners are struggling. I expect the Niners season to continue to unfold this way. I believe that they will actually come back and rise. Yeah, I see that move, Mike. That is really interesting. The move coming in, certainly right now. In that Browns Ravens game. They appear to be hitting that game to 6.5. So, if anything, though, they're moving against me. They're fading me, it looks like. Ferner says he laid it with the 49ers. Thomas says, what about the injuries coming in? So, Debo, hopefully he's back for the Niners this week. I mean, I don't want him to be back. Uh, because I'm taking the Jaguars here. I want them to be back because the 49ers need their guys healthy to get back to where they were. Now, I don't think Debo's going to play. He's only been cleared to return to action this week. Trent Williams is still questionable. That's a big factor. I mean, it's almost like, having a superstar in or out of the game when it comes to Trent Williams. So I'm taking the Jaguars here. They are on a roll. I think the public, maybe Joe Public's onto the Jaguars too a little bit. It feels like the handy, people that are really into it, like you guys and me, or know the Jaguars are whatever that slow start was. Yeah, maybe they're a little bit of a veteran team too now in the way that's gone. Right, they've been in some big games here of late. There's no reason why the Jaguars cannot be in the mix with the top teams in the AFC. I think that looks more and more obvious as we move along because the AFC teams have maybe some flaw. Well, but look at the Niners. They've got their set of flaws right now too. I mean, people are starting to question Brock Purdy here, but all Purdy does is win. But going up against Joe Cool, this is like the game of the morning here. This is the game that they should be focused on this week. This is the great game of the day, and I'll take the Jaguars. Hey, maybe this is the game the Niners can, show their power here that they are the team to be reckoned with. But it seems like to me, Jaguars and under, to be quite honest with you. In this one. Great game. I think the defenses will be the big deal here. So, all right, Josh Dobbs, Josh Dobbs, Josh Dobbs, Josh Dobbs, Josh Dobbs, Josh Dobbs. And how about the Minnesota Vikings and their performance last week? I mean, that's what you do, right? They didn't even know. Here's the thing: there's no problem with hey, why didn't the Vikings start Josh Dobbs? You weren't going to do that. I mean, by the time he even got in, they'd already had to start work on the other week. You just go with the other quarterback, have Dobbs ready, and Dobbs is the kind of guy. He's like he might be like Baker, he might be one of those guys that you want that comes in the game when you need the desperate, the Minshew's of the world, right? He's not the man of the future for the Vikings. Hopefully, Cousins is still the man for the Vikings in the future. He'll have get better and have a little bit of career left. Hopefully, it's not a career-ending injury. And Dobbs is not the answer, but he's the quarterback. You better believe it right now. That was nice to see a guy come in and I saw the locker room gives me chills a little bit. So I like football, but O'Connell, Dobbs, that locker room talk after the game. Talk about a player, right? You don't need to be. I said it I said it on a show that I was on. Josh Dobbs sure knows how to make a lot of friends, and why couldn't they beat the Saints here, right? Okay, the Saints got a little momentum. I don't know what, or whatever, I don't know what you want to call what the Saints got right now necessarily, because it doesn't feel like uh, when you've got Derek Carr in there, you're just a few. What was the old show, Seconds from Disaster? And that's the way it feels like here. Look, the Vikings, okay, they were the luckiest team last season. And maybe they're getting lucky this season, but it looks like they're getting lucky because they're a little bit skillful, a little bit experienced in winning and things like that. These teams come in with exactly the same records. The Saints are 2-6-1 against the spread. The Vikings are 5-3-1 against the spread. So there's two ways to go about it, and the Saints are a road favorite here. Makes no sense to me. Uh, the Saints haven't gotten over the top yet necessarily. You're okay, maybe the defense is okay, but you're going up against Skull. It's still loud in the building. The Vikings have found some solutions here to fight through this and be in contention here at this point at 5-4 after we all wanted to make fun of them last season. Yeah, Justin Jefferson is out. All these problems. Osborne got knocked up in the head last week. There's some issues here coming into this game, definitely for the Vikings. But I don't put the Saints in a strong enough class right here to go ahead and get a road victory in this one. I'm going to have to take the Vikings plus the points here. Maybe they would go up because this injury report probably isn't going to change necessarily this week. I mean, Justin Jefferson is, he's outright, he's out. And Osborne, you saw how hard he got hit in that game. He was almost, he was out. He was out. So I'm taking the Vikings still here. Maybe they'll get lucky. I don't know if I had 30 teams and I had to say, hey, if you got to get lucky with one team, who would it be? Take the purple. Take the Vikings. They seem to be get lucky. I don't think they need to be lucky. I just think this is gonna be a close game. I think the Saints have not they don't appear clutch to me. At 2-6-1 against the spread. I'm probably with you here. Is it 43? Did I have that wrong, Darren? I'm letting Ronald down here a little bit. Oh no, yeah, this one's down to 41 even. So and to me, I mean, I'll tell you right now. I mean, here's the thing about these two teams: they're combined 4-14 to the under so far this season. So we'll see if that continues. It does feel like it will. Quite frankly, I would think this. Yeah, and Darren, go. I'm fine with it, Darren. And yeah, buy it up. Let's be sure, especially with a number like 42. I know people don't say don't buy money, or don't buy it on totals. Buy it whatever you feel comfortable with. Make sure you win. But for me, I'm probably going to be on the under in this game. The Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the Super Bowl that never was. Remember when ESPN years and years ago, and they did a thing where um, this might have been before Madden even. I don't know what it was, but they did like a montage of videos where they showed highlights of one team and they meshed the highlights from the 60s against the 70s. It looked like they were playing each other, and you'd have like Jack Ham sacks Bart Starr, in the game, right? And you'd have Paul Horning running away from Mel Blount or something like that. And these guys, it was like the Packers and the Steelers got to the Super Bowl. I don't know where the 49ers were at the time, but I think the Packers ended up being the Steelers in the Super Bowl that never was. Anyways, here's the Steelers at home. They're 1-7 to the under so far this season, and I would think they should handle Packers. It bothers me at this point that the Packers are, Now they've covered some games. They are 3-5, 4-4 against the spread, but I'm going to take a chance laying a field goal here. I already see it kind of sneaking up. I think it may go up to 3.5 here by kickoff with the Steelers. Look, Kenny Pickett, he might actually be that guy. I don't mean that guy, is going to take us to the promised land, but more and more, hopefully, there's not that chemistry issue that they're talking about, whatever. And Pickens is, a very good receiver, and I hope that chemistry is there. And I hope there isn't a problem with the Steelers because it works pretty good, actually. And for the Packers, where is their is Aaron Jones? Are you really going to rely on whatever's going on with the Packers and their offense at this point? They really just have no names, nobody, right? That's doing anything. I don't want to go out and just insult the Packers at this point with what's going on, but and Jones, I think. Let me look. I think he's got an injury designation too this week. See the total on this game actually moving down here right now to 39. I'm sorry, I'm making you guys look at my bald head there when I dive in to get a closer look. I guess I could wear my glasses online. Would you guys like to see that? All right. Maybe Jones does not. I thought he was questionable. Anyways, the Packers should be okay with their running. The one thing the Steelers defense doesn't do is actually, to me, they don't stop the run very well. The yardage may. No, I don't know if the yardage does say so now that I think about it. I'm off the top of my head here, but uh, teams can run against the Steelers, no doubt about it. And they can also make life a little bit difficult for a guy like Pickett. But I know people aren't on Pickett necessarily and say but to me, I think he has a little bit of a rapport here with Pickens and Johnson. Don't forget, finally, Deontay, found the end zone there, looked pretty good, and I imagine against the Packers, um, Deontay Johnson. I've been on a couple times. They've invited me to a fantasy show. It's funny because I'm not able to play fantasy, but I really have looked at it as my one time to talk fantasy on the air. And I'll tell you what, Pickens would be to me. I've got him. I'll just say it. I'll go with it right now. This is my fantasy angle or my prop angle here. Pickens. I'll give him 2 touchdowns. Johnson's going to need. Deontay's going to need attention now. He got that touchdown. Pickens. The thing about Pickens is, don't forget, and we have maybe we haven't seen the best of the. You got Johnson and You got Johnson and you've got Pickens. I mean, I'd take that, right? I mean, you could go, and don't forget old Allen Robinson, but he hasn't done much. Probably wouldn't do much, but um, with these two guys, if you had to pick a tandem in the league, I mean, there are probably better tandems, but I mean, you could do worse than these two. And who's doing anything right now for the Packers in their passing game? Christian Watson had a concussion last game. I mean, was he going to play? He's questionable this week. He ain't going to play, is he? Do you think Dobbs, Packers Dobbs? I mean, what's he really doing? What's Reed doing? Who are these guys? Packers aren't doing much. Packers, I do expect they better turn around. They better find a way to turn around right now. And I was sitting here. Look, I've told you about how I love this quarterback. I love this. I was on Love. I was on Love early, and I even after the first game, remember he made those plays, but it's not working right now. Whether it's fixable, they've even said, right? They've even coach even said, and we're evaluating. This is not necessarily. It's not. Love to be here forever. We got to figure out what is either fix him, but feels like let's get on it early before that hook gets there, before any more price gets there. Maybe there's people on the Packers. Maybe we could find some support for the Packers. Uh, you know, maybe they can come through. But all right, the Titans and the Bucks. I'm not a problem. No problem watching this game. This sounds fun. We got Baker. We got Will Levis, and uh, I'm the guy that comes in talking about him, and hey, Will Levis. Thumbs up, Will Levis. Good job. You're the man. You get the job. No problem. I'm still a Tannehill. I'm like, what are you doing? This is a little early. Don't be running Will Levis out there, but they're doing it. No problem. I'm not a Tannehill guy. Like, I'm concerned maybe Tannehill, maybe his career's over. Maybe he got as good as he can get. And, you know, maybe with a little bit around him, he could have been better. Maybe it is him because maybe Will Levis is going to come in here and be this guy. Now, I don't think he's going to be this guy today. Remember, both these teams are 3-5. So when I say good game, I'm just talking about it's a close matchup. These teams really aren't doing that well. They are both 4-4 against the spread, interestingly enough, and combined they are 4-12 to the under so far this season. So we think of Baker winging and swinging and slinging, but not really. We just when we need him, he looks like he's out there making a running and passing. Then it looks like he's leading them to a massive victory or something. But I'm going to trust the Bucks here. I like the line of the Titans with Will Levis moving forward. It's not his first road game against a decent defense here. Where it probably be, I would imagine it's going to be a low scoring game here. Very, very tough to score. You got a rookie quarter, Will Levis. Okay, awesome. Looks real good. I mean, real good. Remember, we were on here talking about Will Levis last week, and last I checked, they didn't win, right? But the plays where chased out of the pocket, has to spin off a little bit, is still able to loop a ball into a receiver that's gotten behind a backer or a coverage man. Right, he was showing like a deft touch on his like I said, he was a top prospect. Remember, you guys, I don't know if you remember, and I'm going to mention Mindy here. She said Will Levis was her top quarterback prospect. And you could see last week what she sees. I mean, Will Levis has the tools, the skills to be, one of the better quarterbacks in the league, it looks like to me. So it's not a surprise that after, looking good that first game, all right, one game you're the starter. I would say we always say, oh, you can't lose your starting job to injury. Tannehill does not look to me the type of quarterback that should lose his job to injury. I don't think they were doing a good job protecting him, doing a good job with him. He wasn't looking good, so I guess there. Why not just not make a proclamation of it and say Will Levis is our guy for the rest of the year? Let's just say Will Levis is our starter right now. He's looked pretty good. Let's just stick with him. Ryan will get held. I don't know. I'm not a coach, a general manager, these type of things, obviously. So I don't know if he's too old, Thomas, but he could sure pull in a white. Anyways, give me the Bucks in this one. To me, good both teams. I mean, these are good defenses, right? So no doubt about it. Both teams allowing 20 points per game. That would take it over, but they are averaging a combined 38.5 or so. So okay, Darren, I get it, but I don't know. Is he bottom 10? Probably maybe he was bottom 10 in production this season, but yeah, could have put him in the middle of the group maybe. All right, you guys, I'm taking the Bucks. I still think they have a pretty good defense. Titans have a good defense. This one comes down to the wire. Buccaneers at home. Will Levis moving forward. He may have a great game. He may not have a great game here, but he may still do a good job, close game or whatever. Maybe there'll even be questions about Levis after this week, which would be wrong in my opinion.